This is a serious warning to all U.S. college students and any American who cares about the Palestinians. U.S. politicians are trying to pass this law, the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which changes the definition of anti-Semitism to say that criticizing the state of Israel is anti-Semitic and violates Title VI. I'm a student, and if this law were to pass, if I were in school and I said something like, Israel is a colonial project, or Israel was built on the ethnic cleansing of the Nakba of 1948, or Israel oppresses Palestinians, I would violate Title VI, because all schools would now have to make sure that criticizing the state of Israel doesn't happen on their campuses, in their classrooms, by their students. Because in cases like Davis versus the Monroe County Board of Education, U.S. courts ruled that when schools don't stop Title VI violations from student to student, so if I were to say that to somebody else, then they're responsible and they will face consequences, namely, not receiving any more federal funding. You guessed it, U.S. colleges and K-12 schools are federally funded and try their hardest to follow Title VI. The new definition U.S. politicians are trying to change it to is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism. It states that denying Israel's right to exist, and the example they give was claiming that Israel is a racist endeavor, is anti-Semitism. Now, the problems with this is something I've been researching for quite a while, way back in October when House Republicans passed a bill stating that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism and referenced this definition. I come to the obvious conclusion that this definition is used to shut down free speech criticizing Israel and policies and governments around the world. This definition is heavily pushed by pro-Israel lobbies here in America because it literally gives these lobbies protections. Not only are they already acting in Israel's interest and on behalf of Israel, but this shuts down a lot of criticism of the pro-Israel lobby here in America because a lot of it is based off the actions of the state of Israel. If you can't criticize Israel legally anymore, you can't criticize these pro-Israel lobbies. The author of this Anti-Semitism Awareness Act is Mike Lawler. And you already know he's funded by AIPAC. $180,000 this year alone. The reason this law is being pushed right now is so they can use it to shut down college protests and say that they're in violation of Title VI. And let them pull federal funding from schools who allow these protests to continue on their campuses. When I was doing my research, I came across something that was really interesting. This is the Jerusalem Declaration on Anti-Semitism, which was made in response to the IHRA's definition. Their goal was to fix the issues with the other definition, which conflated anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. The two are not the same. To fix the clear bias towards the state of Israel that the other definition is being used for. So a group of 200 scholars got together and wrote this definition that makes a clear distinction about what is and what isn't anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. The question to politicians are, why not use this definition? It clearly protects free speech in a way that the other one does not. The answer is they don't want to use it. They want to shut down criticism of the state of Israel. That's why they use this one. We have to all speak out against this act. It's an evil act. It's an act meant to shut down free speech. It's an act meant to protect Israel. This is not an American bill. It's an Israeli bill. Pushed by AIPAC, using a problematic and biased definition. They had the audacity to name it the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. What it should be called is the Don't Speak Against Israel Act. Please help this video get out there, repost and copy the link a bunch of times, and make sure you're following me on Instagram so you can continue to hear my messages in the future. Thank you, and free Palestine.